Hi guys, my name is Bedge. My government name is Emeka. Bedge is just the brand name. And today I am with 35mm and I'm going to be giving you my 10 tips of shooting Nigerian weddings. Not just any other wedding, Nigerian weddings. You know, our own is different. So stay tuned. Tip number one is understanding what the couple wants. So this is where you get the information from having like a consultation or like a pre-wedding with your clients, because you don't want to get into the event and you're not capturing what they want first. You're just doing your thing. So I think tip number one would be understanding what your client wants. And you know how Nigerians can be specific. We're very tailored with everything. So make sure you get an idea of what they want. Be in their head, ask their picture styles and what they were going for and what they expect from you. So tip number two is, you know what? Hold on. Let me get my friend to answer this.
Be very confident. Necessary.
All right, that's true. So you have to be very confident as a photographer. You don't want to have stage fright and you're not even the main character in it. Your clients are always number one, so you always have to be confident. I'll tell you a very short story. So I was with someone shooting a wedding, and it was a wedding filled with like elites, and my assistant froze because of how, you could have that pressure come from being in the center stage. But don't forget, you're not the main attraction. Now bride and groom now be number one. So have your confidence on. It helps you a lot to be able to speak to your clients, let them know what they want. Also speak to guests, because if you're quite timid, nobody respects you first of all. So you need to have that stance by being confident. Tip number three is shooting with multiple cameras and also having extra photographers, because a typical Nigerian wedding is already ranging up to 500 to 1,000 guests. So you don't want to come and be doing solo shots there. What if your lens falls or something happens, or you misplace files, or you don't have people getting the stories that are happening aside from the couple stories? So you have to have multiple cameras to get multiple angles, have multiple photographers that can capture the extras that go behind the scenes. So we're not, understand that is a wedding. A wedding is, combines a lot of stories in one, not just the story from the couple. There's still the story of the siblings. There's still the story of the immediate family. There's the story of the guest. There's even story of the person serving the wedu. So if you want to add that one, you can't do that by being a solo shooter. So make sure you have your multiple cameras and assistants. Tip number four is always plan 2 steps ahead of everyone. You see, Nigerians, we're not really good with planning. First of all, we're already disappointing with being the number one African timekeepers. So always make sure you plan 2 steps ahead. Always make sure you have things thought out. Make sure you have extra batteries close to you. Imagine taking your couple to an exclusive side where you're trying to take a shoot and your battery is a mile away. So when your camera goes off, what happens? You have to start running back. So for me, I think about those things. I'm always 2 steps ahead. If your couple is rushing to their reception, did you drive, or are you using the time you want to start ordering boats? You understand? Things like that can be, they sound very basic, but for weddings, it's very important, because weddings are not doctored, right? We get things thrown at us on the go. So make sure you're already thinking 2 steps ahead of every situation. Tip number 5, you need to have a wide angle lens. When I started out shooting weddings, I was always using my 50mm or maybe an 85. But I realized everything is not about portrait. Everything is not about social media where you're trying to get those, very nice, crispy, blurry shots, background for Instagram. You need a wide angle lens, because like I said, Nigerian weddings can be chaotic and a lot. You need to be able to, photograph quite a number of people in one frame. And for most Nigerian weddings, we don't have the luxury of shooting alone. Most times weddings, they get to hire multiple photographers or videographers, or for the case where we shot the last wedding, Chivido. I mean, you guys saw what happened online. So imagine you were close to the couple trying to get a picture of them and dignitaries, and you're stuck with a 50mm. You're in trouble. So you need to get your wide angle game on. Tip number 7 is having good people skills, understanding people. I think you don't this is not tailored to just Nigerian wedding. I think as a wedding professional, you need to understand people. Like I said, weddings is not fashion or portraits or anything that can be doctored or structured to your taste. So you need to understand people. For me, when I walk into the room, I'm already asking the bride what you're wearing. First off, that's just an icebreaker to have her understand that this person cares for me more than the professional side. And understanding people is also that auntie that is coming to tell you that the bride needs to go rush up and down. You need to be able to have that dialogue. You don't want to now be emotional and get into your own, your own craze or your all over the place. So you need to understand people. People skills is a very, very important skill to have while shooting a wedding, especially Nigerian weddings. Tip number 8 is having a good understanding of lighting. And this tip is included in my list because for our Nigerian events, we don't have the great lighting setup at events. You could walk into an event and you're having pink, magenta, blue colors everywhere. So you should be ready to battle the lighting you're coming to meet at our events. So having a good sense of lighting, knowing when you need your strobe lights, knowing when you need your continuous lights would help you navigate a Nigerian wedding when it comes to lighting. All right, 35mm, this was fun. These were my 8 tips of shooting a Nigerian wedding. I mean, there could be more. You could check it out. Maybe we'll add some for you somewhere else, but these are my 8 tips of shooting a Nigerian wedding. So thank you 35mm for having me on this platform. I like to give back. This is one way we can, share knowledge. So thank you so much for having me on this platform and speaking about Nigerian weddings, which I am much, much passionate about. Thank you so much and see you on the next one.